What is up, guys? Zane for the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about how you can easily bomb cover 2 for a one-play score out of any formation you want. All you need is a hot route master or an outside receiver apprentice and a gunslinger. But before we get into the video, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys take the time to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the uploads coming your way here on the Zane Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to take your game to the next level in Madden 21, check out my strategy site, gridirongameplans.gg. Gridiron Game Plans is your one-stop source for all things competitive Madden. Every week in our Vault update, we take a look at the meta, or the most effective tactics available being used by pro players on the MCS circuit, breaking down not only how and why the pros do what they do, but most importantly, how you can counter those metas when you face them in online gameplay. On top of that, your subscription also includes any and every offensive and defensive game plan released on the website while your subscription is active. So head over to gridirongameplans.gg. $9.95 per month unlocks the entire website, and you can opt out at any time. And if you guys are still looking for an offense to finish out Madden 21, maybe even start Madden 22, I would highly recommend that you check out my Vault update that I just dropped yesterday, July 1st, on Gridiron. You guys can go take a look. It's part 2 of my single back bunch ace offensive game plan, basically broken down in Vault format. And it was broken down in the first Vault update of July and also the last Vault update of June. You get everything on the website, so go check it out. It's a great offense. It puts a spin on the bunch offense that no other bunch offense can actually run due to some different intricate things that the single back bunch ace allows you to do that no other bunch formation allows. So go check it out. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get into today's video. We're going to be talking about how to beat cover 2 over the top for a one-play score out of any formation that you want. Now, yes, if you guys watch every day, you guys are hitting that notification bell, you have seen a video like this before here on the channel. What I want to do here is we kind of hit the last 30 to 40 days of Madden 21 is really touch back on some important things that you guys need to understand are typically carryover tips, legacy level tips that apply from one year to the next. The tip that I'm showing you right now, and the tip that I showed you, a little bit over a month, maybe 2 months ago, this was in Madden 20, it was in Madden 19, and my guess is it's going to be in Madden 22 because this is something that really, the way I'm going to teach it to you makes a lot of sense. So what we're going to talk about is obviously when you guys play Madden, most players have zone drop set. The reason they do this is that you're typically going to have problematic routes, whether it's deep crossing routes, deeper corner routes. There's certain routes that necessitate that you have your flat zone set to zone drop depths of most players will play 25 on their blue zones and then they'll play 5 yards in their purple zones. Now, the most popular defense is the one that we talk about every single day here on the YouTube channel, and that is the nickel 3-3-5 wide Mike Blitz 3, and we call it the double Mabel, meaning that you're going to have a short, medium, and deep zone on each sideline out of a cover 3 shell. Now, the most common thing that players will tend to mix in with this is going to be a cover 2 look. So you're going to get a fair amount of the Mike Blitz 3, and then you're going to have players that are going to run cover 2 as well when they run this. Now, the thing is when you call Mike Blitz 3 and you want to set that double Mabel, they're going to have the 25-yard blues, the 5-yard purples underneath, the deep thirds over the top. And then when they go to their Tampa 2, those zone drops are still active. So this is going to allow you, when you know your opponent is in a cover 2 defense, to go ahead and put in an outside receiver apprentice or just have hot route master on your quarterback. And then your quarterback needs gunslinger to make this tip super easy. The gunslinger is obviously going to allow you to kind of flick your wrist and the ball is just going to fire out like a cannon. It's going to have increased velocity. It's going to basically allow the receiver to get separation and keep that separation without the defender getting back into the play. If you try this tip without gunslinger, I'm not saying it's not possible. It's just going to be broken up by that safety recovering or potentially underthrown or a number of factors that you don't have to contend with when you use the gunslinger. So let's go ahead and get right into it here. I could show this to you out of basically anything. And we're going to set up this formula. We've talked about this before many times, like I said, but I want you guys to have this as your fundamental basis for going forward into Madden 22. So you want your solo receiver on the wide side of the field. He needs to be running from the wide side to the short side of the field. and he is going to be on a skinny post. You could choose a play that has a skinny post, or you can use the hot route master to put the outside receiver on a post. In this video, Davante Adams has the outside apprentice, so he gets the post, corner, corner, post, fade, stop, in addition to his regular hot routes that any outside receiver would get when you are, hot routing. So in terms of how this formula works, you cannot have a route that runs to the short side of the field. That means that Aaron Jones can't run, an in-breaking route over the middle out of the backfield. If you had a slot receiver over on the left side, he couldn't run, an in route. He could not run a drag. He could not run a slant. He couldn't run a crosser, a post, nothing that goes to the short side of the field. So it doesn't matter what formation you're in, no route can run from the wide side of the field to the short side of the field, with the exception of the post route. That is the only route that can do this. Now, the other rule that is in play with this is you cannot have a route on the short side of the field that releases vertically. So that means no out routes, no in routes, no posts, no slants, nothing that releases vertically off the line. Now you're saying, well, okay, you got this double slant concept on the short side of the field. What would you do? Well, what I would do is I would go ahead and try to attack the wide side of the field with a flooding combination. So, try to create some decoy motions, maybe run some floods, a high-low with a swing and a flat out there, or I'm sorry, a swing and an out route. And then on the short side of the field, you are stuck with any receiver on the short side needs to be running a drag, a smoke, or tight ends can run delay fades, which you can leak late in the play. So basically, whatever receiver you have on the short side of the field needs to be crossing on a shallow cross, or needs to be on a smoke if it's an outside receiver, or motion him to get him out of the way. So when we do this here, and I'm going to go ahead and spy off the rush here just to show this, this is going to cause this deep zone that is on the right side of the field to have nothing to worry about. There's nothing running to his side of the field, and there's nothing running vertically on his side of the field off the line. So Valdez-Scantling's no threat, and there's no threat in terms of the other receivers on the field running across the field to his area. As a result, Walker, the deep half safety on the short side of the field, now wants to help his teammates out when this ball is snapped. He's going to drop back, and then he's going to say, wow, there's nothing for me to do. Let me go to the low inside most portion of my zone. And his zone is responsible for 50% of the field to the short side. So what he's going to end up doing is going to the low inside most portion. And what happens is our skinny post is going to break over the top of him for the one play score. So check this out. You see how he's going to bite down, and then this route gets open over the top of him for the one play score. Now, the reason that this happens with Davante Adams on the outside is because of the zone drops. So when you run a cover 2 defense, the reason that he is getting open over the top is because zone drops do not do what we call zone chucking or jamming of the receivers, which is a staple of the cover 2 defense. So as it pertains to kind of running this here, you see that as long as we follow the rule set on this, you're going to see that there's no reroute on Davante Adams, and that's going to allow him to really just run over the top and behind this player for the one play score. You guys can try this on next gen. It's going to work the exact same way, with the caveat being on next gen, it's really hard for the user to get back there. So if you're facing cover 2 on next gen, this is a great beater for that game as well. Again, let me go ahead and show it to you one more time out of this formation. You can do whatever you want in terms of the window dressing. You just have to make sure that you follow the rules of the formation. So if I want to go empty 5 wide here, again, your rule set is nothing vertical off the short side of the field and no routes running to the short side of the field. So this would be a totally legal route combination to call in this situation. Nothing vertical, nothing, you see exactly the same animation by that safety, and you're going to rip that throw over the top. Now, let me go ahead and go back into the play call menu, and I'm going to show this to you out of a different formation here to kind of hammer this home. This is something that you should be able to do out of any formation. You can call this off rip, and you're going to be just fine. So now, naturally, you're going to have plays that already have skinny posts in them. These are the best equipped plays to call against the cover 2, but you could create this out of anything you want. So let me call the play flood. This is perfectly set up for us. So let's go ahead and this time run it against, like, say, dollar. We all know DB Fire 2 is a really popular, let's go ahead and mimic the big dime 1-4-6 type defense. And, you know how players will typically stack their corners and, you know, try to do this contain thing. I mean, we're mimicking 1-4-6 here, but, you know, in this situation, if you set up a route combo that looks like this, again, you're following the rules. There's nothing running to the short side of the field, and there's nothing releasing on the short side of the field vertically. So long as you can pick up the pass rush, you should be really well equipped to throw the one-play score over the top. But again, you see why this defense is so popular. The offensive line struggles with the contained logic. So, you know, you guys are just gonna have to work to, you know, slide protect, move guys the way that you need to move to pick this up. And so long as you pick up the pass rush, you guys are gonna be just fine. So again, skinny post with nothing running to the short side and nothing releasing off the short side. Let's see if we pick up the pass rush this time. Looks like we do, and we're gonna get sacked. But again, you see that safety biting down. So you're gonna have pocket presence against the big dime 1-4-6, that cover 2 blitz. And it, you know, obviously if somebody wants to, you know, start manning up people, if they don't man up, this is a popular way people will play as well. They'll start to, like, you know, man up individual options on this defense. And, you know, if they do that and it's not a 5-man rush, you're right back in business. Again, nothing running to the short side of the field, so no swings to the running back, no out routes to the tight end, and the tight end can't run anything other than a drag or a delay. And if this works, you know, 3-man rush here, there's that safety biting down, and you just launch that ball over the top for the 1-play score. Very, very easy. So as it pertains to cover 2 blitzes, it's the same deal. Now, here is the difference. If your opponent plays a defense where their zone drops aren't active, so maybe they go into their coaching adjustments and they set their zone drops to default, or when they're on the field, if they call a cover 2 defense, they could simply reset their play, and that will cancel their zone drops. If they have their outside corners press you off the line or just jam you, that will completely change how this play works. So let me go ahead and show you what I mean here. I'm going to play, this is your stock cover 2. I'm going to go ahead and spy the pass rush just to show. Now, I want you to notice here that when we put that formula back on the field, that what ends up happening is Davante Adams is going to get jammed off the line. He's going to get pressed. And when he gets pressed off the line, if he goes outside, it stands the chance that that safety still bites down. And that's fine. If you have like a high release of this player, there's a chance that that might happen. But there is also the chance that this player will get jammed to the inside. So I'm gonna see if I can get that animation. It's possible that Davante Adams just has high enough release that he'll never get jammed to the inside, which is fine. But let's see if we can get this. See right here. Okay, so here he releases inside, and he still gets open over the top. I mean, heck, this is showing that this tip is really, really good. But I'm just here to tell you that if you have a receiver that ever gets jammed to the inside, what ends up happening is he will basically get shoved. And if he gets shoved in closer to the numbers where he's maybe running his streak portion of the route like this, before he then breaks to the post, the safety will see that, because the player will then be close enough to the safety in his cut on the post. So as you can see right here, the reason that this gets open is Davante on his cut is so far outside the opposite set of numbers that this safety doesn't realize what's happening. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna go down and try to help out, see if I can poach something over the middle. So he looks over the middle, and then obviously, bye-bye, he's open over the top. If this cut right here by Davante Adams, so you see as he gets, you know, into this route, if this a cut right here where he breaks to the post, rather than happening outside the numbers, is happening on the numbers, and he starts to run in this direction, you know, like this, Walker is going to see that, because basically he's so much closer to that zone that Walker will be aware that it's in his area. But because he cuts outside the numbers, he bites down to the inside, and that's why this happens over the top. So you're going to get a number of times where you go to run this. Let me go back to that trips tight end, for instance, real quick. You're going to get a number of times where, and I'm going to put somebody else other than Davante Adams on this. So let's go ahead and put Davante to the inside. So I'm going to call this play PA crossers, right? And with the stock rules on this play, even if I follow the instructions, if I were to do this, chances are Lazard gets shoved to the inside. And when that happens, that safety is going to react. And you see how that safety runs back with him on that play? That's what you want to avoid on this. So hopefully you guys understand what makes a cover 2 beater so effective. It's the fact that zone drops are on. Obviously, you can't attack that safety on the short side of the field. You have to leave him wanting to help his teammates out, biting down to the inside over the middle of the field. And obviously, one of the better counters to this would be that if your opponent, if you're facing somebody who does this and you want to stay in your zone drops, the key here would be to drop somebody into a middle third, because what that'll end up doing is that will help you with at least somebody being able to, play on that. You see how that middle third is there in the event that you are able to get that safety to bite down. That middle linebacker dropping all the way deep is a huge help. So while you get this safety right here that bites down and gets beat, this middle third linebacker in this Tampa 2 style defense can then get back and recognize what's going on, and he'll run with it. So there you guys have it. You've got the tip itself, you've got the counter, you've got the different ways that you, 2 different counters, middle third, or just play your press animations with no zone drop rules. And you guys are right back in business. But there it is, guys. This is a tip that will, I would bet 95% that it will work in Madden 22 when the game comes out. If you guys are creating a library of formulas to have one-play scores, this would be a good one to start. I'm going to continue to do tips like this over the course of the next, I would say 35, 40 days until Madden 22 comes out, kind of giving you guys, more of a almanac of route combinations that you can create out of different formations. This will help you guys kind of be able to create your own offense when Madden 22 drops. So if you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that like button for me. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you guys know when I upload Monday through Friday in the morning or early afternoon. And we'll see you guys on Monday with our next video upload. Thank you so much for the support on the channel this year, guys. I know it's been a tough content year with the meta being so linear, but you guys are awesome. I appreciate all the growth that you guys have afforded to me on this channel, and I hope to bring you more of these types of tips. I'll see you guys on Monday. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.